The IONNA network recently surpassed 100 sites and 1,000 charging bays, something they promised they would do in the first 12 months of installing stations. It took them a little bit longer. I think it took around 13 and a half months, but we're going to give them credit for that anyway, because 100 sites in a little over a year is incredibly fast and what they call IONNA speed. But here today we have another announcement for IONNA, and it's a pretty significant one. And that is that the EV charging network has partnered with Circle K stores. Circle K operates over 7,300 convenience stores in the US, and they're second only to 7-Eleven as far as the number of locations that they have. So Circle K is a pretty significant company to partner up with. And IONNA is going to be installing their rechargeries at hundreds of Circle K locations. Now, those of you that follow the electric vehicle industry might immediately ask, yeah, but Tom, Circle K already has its own network of DC fast chargers at many of its locations. What's going to happen to those? Well, that's what we're going to talk about here today. So let's get into it. Okay, so IONNA and Circle K, perfect together? Well, before we get into my thoughts, let's take a look at what Aaron Wolf, IONNA's COO, had to say about this partnership. We are honored that Circle K has recognized IONNA as a leader in the industry and entrusted us to serve their customers with the same care and commitment to excellence that they show now. Circle K's scale, customer focus, and quality of location make them an ideal partner as we rapidly expand high-power charging where drivers already want to stop. Today's video is sponsored by EVChargingStations.com. If you drive an electric vehicle or you're planning to, this site is packed with comprehensive charger reviews, detailed DC fast charging graphs, and the latest news from all of the fast charging networks. You'll find real-world testing, easy-to-understand comparison, and deep dives into how different electric vehicles actually charge. Before you buy an EV charger or plan your next road trip, make sure to bookmark EVChargingStations.com and make smarter charging decisions. This collaboration with Circle K is certainly going to help IONNA continue its pretty much record-breaking pace of installing DC fast charge locations. Remember, they promised to have more than 1,000 locations and 30,000 charging bays by 2030. So we're only a few years away from that. Now, they had a great first year with 100 sites and 1,000 charging bays, but they've got a long way to go. This partnership is going to help them a lot. And it's not just because Circle K has so many locations, over 7,300 locations in the US. It's really because of Circle K's existing DC fast charging network. They have over 100 locations in the US and Canada. They have some of their locations are in Canada. And what IONNA is going to be doing is they're assuming 85 of Circle K's existing locations, and they're going to upgrade them to IONNA sites. So nearly all of the work is done at these locations. Of course, there's going to have to be some upgrades done, but from what I understand, in most of the locations, and I spoke to somebody who's very familiar with the construction of the Circle K locations, they're good to go for 400 kilowatt chargers. Of course, they might have more hardware upgrades that they're going to have to do. In addition to IONNA's chargers, there's going to be utility upgrades. But a lot of the underground conduit and piping and everything was installed with the mind of upgrading in the future. So it's not like they're going to have to rip up all their parking lots and everything. And a lot of these locations, they might just have to add a stall or two, but a lot of the work's already done. So they're going to be assuming 85 of Circle K's existing locations. Now here in the US, they have a little bit more than that. They have, I counted on Circle K's existing map, a little over 90 locations. So I already asked IONNA to comment on this. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I think a few of the locations, 4 or 5 of the locations, were very low powered locations that IONNA is just going to say we're not going to use that for a rechargery, that location, because it, we'd be better off just starting from scratch at a different location. And perhaps some of their locations may be close to existing IONNA locations, so there'd be no reason to open up a rechargery across the street from an existing rechargery at a Sheetz, let's say, or something like that. So 85 of Circle K's existing sites are going to be upgraded to IONNA rechargeries. But overall, with this partnership, IONNA is telling us more than 350 Circle K locations will eventually be IONNA rechargeries. So that is an enormous footprint, and proving once again that the convenience store partnership with these DC fast charging networks is a winning combination. Now, IONNA already has 3 existing partners. They've partnered with Wawa, Sheetz, and Casey's to install rechargeries on those properties. So now this is a 4th convenience store that they've partnered with. And the interesting thing is, about 10 years ago, when I was writing for a variety of electric vehicle news sites, I wrote an article for Green Car Reports about the very first Tesla supercharger site that was located at a convenience store. Tesla partnered with Quick Check food stores and installed a supercharger at their Kingston, New York location. It was the very first Tesla supercharger that was located at any convenience store location. Now, within a year, they had locations at Sheetz and at Wawa's, but the Quick Check location, and I visited it the first week that it was open, because it's only about a 2-hour drive from my house here, and I wrote an article for Green Car Reports. And in that article, I wondered if convenience stores like Quick Check will be the perfect home for DC fast charging. I went on to say, will this model prove fruitful for store operators as the addition of gasoline did? And then I said, I suspect the synergy of electric car charging and convenience stores will prove to be a winning pair. Now, that article was written about 10 years ago, when there were almost no DC fast charging locations at convenience stores. And it seems like it panned out, because it's a winning combination, particularly for long distance travel, because these locations quite frequently are located along major corridors, and they have 24/7 accessibility. Most of these stores are open 24/7. So you have restrooms, fresh coffee, and food when you're charging up. So it makes the charging stop for long distance travel very convenient. Now, that's not the only type of DC fast charging locations we need. I've also been an advocate of what Walmart is doing. I think it's great that Walmart is installing chargers at many of their locations, because I think that serves a different customer, not necessarily the long distance traveler, but the person that may want to buy an electric car but can't charge at home. So they're going to charge at their weekly food shopping location, let's say. So there's no single magic bullet, but this convenience store DC fast charging partnership seems to be an absolute home run for networks like Tesla, like IONNA here. And this particular partnership with Circle K is going to really help IONNA get more chargers in their ground, get a larger footprint, even faster than they already have been. And that makes me wonder, what's going to be the next convenience store franchise that IONNA partners with? They already have Wawa, Sheetz, Casey's, and now Circle K. But that leaves Quick Check Foods, 7-Eleven, Love's Travel Stops, Pilot and Flying J's, Quick Trip, Come and Go, Royal Farms, and of course, Buc-ee's. And I'm sure I missed a couple others out there, but I think those are some of the largest ones. There's still a lot of other franchises out there for IONNA to partner with, and I don't think Circle K is going to be the last one. All right, well, that's all I have here today. A quick IONNA update. IONNA and Circle K, perfect together? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section of this video. And if this is your first time here at State of Charge, please hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming electric vehicle news and reviews. And as always, thanks for watching.